join in. You know what I mean? Like, get with the program, take part in the excursions, take part in the whatever y'all are doing, right? Include yourself, be happy, be welcoming, be supportive, be nice. You know, make sure everyone's having fun. If you notice that someone's feeling kind of left out or someone's like really quiet, talk to them, include them. Don't get frustrated. Don't start talking crap about them. Don't try to exclude them anymore because what's wrong with her? No, ask her, what's wrong? How can we make it right? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Peace Jones. Don't forget to like this video, to comment on this video, and to subscribe to this channel, okay? If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome, okay? If you've been here, thank you so much for being loyal and sticking around, all right? So today I have a quick little 5-tip video. This is going to fall under my travel segment. If you guys don't know, I am a solo traveler, but I love all types of travel indeed, okay? So this is just 5 tips on how to have a successful girls trip, okay? Ladies, if you're anything like me or had any experiences like me, girls trips can be really, really difficult, okay? Just getting a group of women all on the same page, different personalities, different likes and dislikes, different schedules. It's just really hard to pull a group of women together to coordinate, okay? I don't think it's as difficult for men. I think a lot of times they're kind of like go with the flow. They don't have all these different personalities, we'll say, attitudes, but they don't have all these requests and, you know, demands and needs and wants and stuff like that. But for us ladies, you know, it can be difficult. So I think a lot of us have experienced, you know, either failed girls trips or not so great girls trips where maybe you had a falling out afterwards, girls trips that just weren't enjoyable and successful because of some of the things I mentioned, right? So I wanted to, as a woman, help out my fellow women for the next time that you may want to do a girls trip, whether it be your bachelorette trip, whether it be a birthday, whether it be celebrating someone's graduation, whatever. I just really want to see more girls trips gone right than wrong, okay? So let's get into it. Number 1, start off by assembling a group of women with great personalities, okay? This is really, really important. It may sound obvious, but from all of the failed girls trip story time videos that I've seen here on YouTube, all of the stories I've heard, and even some of the girls trips that I've been on, or some of the trips that have included girls that I've been on, I feel like a lot of times people go into their girls trip knowing that maybe a few of the girls just don't have the best attitude, don't have the best personalities, aren't good with other people. They don't mix well, they aren't cooperative, they aren't necessarily friendly, whatever. Now, that may be cool for like maybe stepping out at home, maybe a happy hour at home, maybe just you and that particular girl or you and those girls hanging out just one-on-one. But when you're thinking about traveling out of state or out of the country and you're really wanting to enjoy your trip and you're knowing that you're having to mesh together multiple personalities and be considerate of others' feelings and finances and choices and just so much that goes into it, I don't think it's smart to incorporate those women. Now, does that mean that it's easier said and done? Yes, because you don't want to leave anyone out. Maybe you're really close to some of those women, but I just don't think it's smart to include them because it's almost like setting yourself up for failure. It's a recipe for disaster. So if there's a way to not include those type of women, try it. And if you must include them, I suggest that you have like a one-on-one talk prior to the trip and let them know maybe some of the things that you realize that aren't so positive about them and their personality. And maybe like, you know, put a bug in their ear that it won't be tolerated on the trip, because the whole point of the trip is to have a really good time, and that's what we're gonna do, okay? So assemble a group of women with great personalities, okay? Number 2, coordinate dates, be flexible, and understand that the perfect date range does not exist, okay? I have encountered this so many times. So for the most part, I would say the beginning of my adult working career, I had a pretty crazy schedule. Like, I worked so much. I worked odd days, I worked really long hours, and I really didn't have much vacation leave. So when I would travel or do things at that point in time, I would really try, even still, to work around other people's schedules, but it was a bit more difficult because my schedule was so tight, right? Now, in the later years of my career in my 20s, I feel like I've worked jobs that were a lot more flexible. I didn't necessarily have more vacation time, but I had more flexibility to kind of like make up hours or, move and shake, to where as though I've usually had the more flexible schedule out of the group. Now, with that being said, I have totally been aware of that, and I have made it a point to say, hey, let me know what you guys need, right? Whether that be, let's start planning way in advance to ensure that you have childcare and ensure that you can step away from your wife duties or mother duties. Whether that be that, we work with this date range or this particular week that that you'll be free this month. Whether that means that we focus on a certain destination that works best for you, whatever it may be. I've tried to be all around very flexible and open about the dates, the months, the time of year that works best for my friends. Needless to say, even after making these accommodations based on their schedules, a lot of times you still get people flaking, you still get people disagreeing, you still get people, they can't get on one accord. Understand that everyone has to be flexible. I know you have a kid, but she does too. I know you're a wife, but she is too. I know you work long hours, but I do too. I know you work weekends, but so does she. So you guys understand that a perfect date range does not exist. You guys are gonna have to compromise. You're gonna have to be flexible. And even if that means you come on the first leg of the trip and don't finish it, or you come on the last leg of the trip and you don't start out, whether that means that somehow, I don't know, however you all work it out, but just know that you're gonna have to be flexible, especially with larger groups. The larger a group, the more compromising and flexibility it's gonna take, okay? Number 3, set a realistic budget, something that works for everyone. This is another huge point. So I had a friend a while back, and those people that kind of like, once they reach a certain point in life, they totally forget like what their finances were before and how other people may not be where they're at, right? So she was that type of person. At one point in her life, we were sacrificing for her. We were working around her. We were pinching pennies because she couldn't do certain things. Then when she got to a certain level, it was like she forgot all about that, and she wasn't willing to do that for the next person or the next friend or the other women, right? And so that is something that you have to be very, very conscious of, okay? Even if the next person has it, it doesn't mean that they want to spend it, right? So after all, yes, we're going on a vacation to have a great time. Yes, we want to stay in a nice lodging facility. Yes, we want to eat well. Yes, we want to be safe. We don't want bugs in our hotel. We don't want to be getting a transportation from the airport in a broken down car, whatever, right? But we still have to come home and pay bills, right? So look at the type of trip you're taking. Does it have to be over the top luxury? Do you have to have a private chef? Do you have to stay in the best 5-star resort? You know what I mean? Like, I understand you want it to be nice. And depending on where everyone is in life, maybe you guys can do that. Maybe you can afford the butler. Maybe everyone can afford the Mercedes Sprinter van, private transportation. Maybe you guys can afford the private chef and the villa, whatever. But if you all aren't all at that point and you know it's going to make some people uncomfortable or it's just not realistic for some people, please be considerate, okay? Please understand that while vacations and traveling is amazing, people still come home to families that they have to provide for, to work that they have to do, a household that they have to maintain. So my best suggestion for this is try and compromise and do what works best for the group. Now, outside of that, no one says that you can't also enhance your trip, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean, let's say you guys all go girls trip to Mexico, right? And you stay in a pretty nice, maybe a 4-star resort. Still nice, all inclusive, whatever, right? And let's say that you guys get like the shared transportation and you have the all you can eat food, right? But maybe you want champagne. Maybe that's your drink of choice. You don't want just the drinks that they're making at the bar. You don't want the real liquor. And you have the opportunity to order a bottle of whatever champagne you want to your room as room service every night. You go ahead and do that because that's what you would like, right? Maybe there's an option to go off of the resort and get like a really amazing Chef Antonio inspired seafood cuisine, right? Go do that. Even if you have to do that on your own, get that experience, right? Maybe none of the ladies want to pay for the $300 spa package, but you want that. Go ahead and do that. Have that spa day, that spa morning, that spa evening to yourself, right? Still incorporate pieces that will really enhance your trip and your experience. Just because other people don't want to do it doesn't mean that you have to deprive yourself. But what you shouldn't do is force other people to spend money that they really aren't comfortable spending, okay? You don't want to be that girl. Number 4, give each member of your squad a task. This is important, and I truly believe that between this tip and the number 1 tip, which would be to assemble a group of women with great personalities, I think that these two are the top conflict reducers and argument eliminators, okay? So giving each member of your squad or your team or your group a task helps everyone to feel like they're participating. I know I've been included in 2 girls' trips that I didn't go to, but I felt like this person in particular, she wanted to take over, plan everything, literally not allow others to incorporate their ideas or their likes and dislikes or their suggestions. I noticed the way that she moved, like every time you would try and consider something or try and suggest something, it always seemed as if, well, this is already booked, or well, this is what we like. And was it really what we liked, or was it what you liked and told everyone that this is what we're gonna do, right? So you guys already know I'm a solo traveler. I'm a traveler in general, right? I have my own itinerary business. I know how to create an experience for myself and others. I also know how to plan a trip for myself and others. I know how to plan a domestic trip. I know how to plan a international trip, right? I personally don't necessarily need your suggestions or need you to go out and find things or need you to prepare and book things. However, because I'm a team player, I will allow, each person to play their part. But I really find it uncomfortable when one person tries to take over and make all of the suggestions, all of the plans based off of what they want to do and never take the time to really say, hey, what do you guys genuinely desire, right? Because that makes a difference. And that's how a lot of arguments start, because Jenna done found the resort she likes and she booked it. But Jenna doesn't like all inclusives and everyone else does, but it's already booked now. Or Jenna, then she's cheap, right? She found the cheapest travel transportation, but didn't read the reviews, and come to find out they take a 2-hour round trip every time that they have to drop someone off. But there's travel companies that you could have went with for just a little bit more that would have gotten you there in 30 minutes, right? It's like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people can be really inconsiderate when planning, and they're so in a rush and they're so ready to make sure that the experience is what they envision or desired, that they don't take the time to say, hey, I'm going with other people. I have to consider their feelings. And when I say consider their feelings, I don't mean bring about ideas and then hope that everyone is on the same page as you with your idea. I'm talking about allow other people to bring ideas, because they might not have the same ideas and suggestions as you, and then put them in a pot and work from there, right? You don't just put all your suggestions out and be like, well, I told you, well, I gave you a choice, but no, you didn't, because you didn't give us an opportunity to also share our opinions and suggestions. That's a huge problem. Everyone needs to feel included in this process, okay? So unless there's someone who's like, hey, leave me out of it, I'll pay my money when it's time, y'all do you, I don't have time for this. Everyone needs to be incorporated. One person can do the hotel booking, one person can search for dinner places to eat at, one person can search for the excursions, one person can be in charge of like footage and getting all the pictures and whatever, right? Like everyone needs a task so they can feel included, and no one can go home saying, well, so-and-so planned all of this and I didn't like it, or so-and-so decided we should do this and that's not what I wanted to do, okay? Number 5, allow everyone to shine. Offer to take your friends' pictures, share, and celebrate one another. This is another thing. For some reason, us women, when we get in certain environments and certain scenarios, we get really, really self-centered, right? And so I've heard one of my favorite YouTubers say this often, where she's out with her friends, and obviously, you know, she's a YouTuber, she's an influencer, she has to get pictures, she has to get footage. And she says that every time she's out with her friends, she feels like she never gets the proper pictures and footage, because all of a sudden, no one wants to take her pictures. No one has the time to take her pictures. They're trying to just turn up. They don't feel like standing and getting these angles and getting up and blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to them, she's always willing and ready to take their pictures. She's always willing and ready to participate in their TikToks or whatever it may be. And so that's a real thing for us to consider, ladies. I know it's a beautiful place. I know you're having a great time. I know you're getting all of your selfies and, you know, your reels going, your TikToks going, your YouTube footage. But please remember to look out for your friends, okay? After all, it is a shared experience. It's a girls' trip. Y'all are supposed to be reconnecting, loving on each other, embracing each other, and just really spending time with one another, uplifting one another. So with that being said, offer to take your friends' pictures and take them well. Don't be rushing. Don't be, you know, being petty. Don't be getting aggravated and frustrated easily, because she's not doing that with you, okay? You know, participate in their TikToks or their reels or whatever, you know, just join in, you know what I mean? Like, get with the program, take part in the excursions, take part in the whatever y'all are doing, right? Include yourself, be happy, be welcoming, be supportive, be nice. You know, make sure everyone's having fun. If you notice that someone's feeling kind of left out or someone's like really quiet, talk to them, include them. Don't get frustrated. Don't start talking crap about them. Don't try to exclude them anymore because, what's wrong with her? No, ask her, what's wrong? How can we make it right? What is bothering you? Because you want everyone to enjoy this experience, okay? So those are my 5 tips, ladies. I hope that they help you out. I wish amazing bonding experiences with no drama for all of your girls' trips for the rest of your life, okay? See you next time. Peace.